Hello again from the Insecure Chef. Today we're going to make crispy air-fried pork chops in the Ninja Foodi. I will get the recipe up on the site, or I will add it to this video, but you will have that before you start, of course. But as you can see from the setup in front of me, I've already started making one chop, and the way that's done is I'll do our second chop, because we're only doing 2 chops tonight, is I like to rinse the chop in water. You don't have Okay, I like to just rinse the chop off with a little water, let it drain out. And then I'm going to first put it in the eggs. All right, just an egg, turn it over, get it so it's wet on all sides. All right, and just let a little bit excess drip off. And then it'll go right into the mixture of coating, which again I said I will give you all the ingredients for this. Now the key here is if you can, when you put the crumbs in, you want to make sure you're pressing them into the meat. So hopefully you can see I'm doing that with my hands. I'm picking up crumbs and I'm actually pressing it quite firmly into the meat. Okay, and then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to flip it on the other side. So, you know, don't rush this step, because this is the whole key to the final texture of the dinner. So again, I'm pressing them in very well. Slowly turning them over, making sure everything is coated the best it can. Do on the sides, and you know, if it falls off, then just put some more back on. Okay, and then once you're satisfied that they're as coated as they're going to get, you simply pick them up, put them on a separate tray, and then with that you can take a few extra crumbs and sink them, put them on the top, press them in as well. I'll do that for the chop that I did earlier. Okay, you can never really have too much when it comes down to the breadcrumbs. So hopefully you can see that my hands aren't terribly in the way. Okay, so I've compressed that in there very nicely, and I'm just going to wash off my hands a bit. All right, and now I'm going to simply pop these into the refrigerator for about an hour. You can do it for 30 minutes, but I found it does much better in an hour. Whatever you do, don't skip the refrigerator step, because this is what allows the crumbs to further adhere to the meat. So I'm going to simply get a paper plate. Sorry there, should have had one of these ready. So we're going to get a paper plate eventually. And I'm going to put it across the top, and now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. So we'll be back in a little while. I'm going to put these in for an hour, and then we'll go through the cooking process. Be right back. Okay, I've preheated the Foodi for 12 minutes at 400 degrees after I had given it a little oil spritz. So as you see now, it's just completing that preheating step, and it'll be nice and hot when we get started. Okay, I'm now going to get out the pork chops that we put away about an hour ago. And there they are. They look nice and comfortable. So we're going to go over to here now, and I'm going to hopefully place these on here without destroying too much of the breadcrumbs. Okay, there's one, and there is 2. All right, so they're in there right now, and all I'm going to do is give it a little spritz with oil on this side, really designed to keep the breadcrumbs on until they really begin to cook. So, you know, not too much. And we're now going to close the lid. We're going to go over to air crisp, of course. We're going to, I'm sorry, I couldn't see very well. Okay, so we've got air crisp here. I'm going to set the temperature to 400 degrees. And then I'm going to start this at 5 minutes. Okay, so we're starting this now at 5 minutes, air crisp 400. And we'll be back in a little bit. When we do come back, I will then flip them over, put another little oil spritz, and put them back down, and then we'll begin to cook and check temperatures. See you in a few minutes. Okay, as you can see, we're down to about 7 seconds, and this will be the first 5 minutes of the chops. So as soon as this is finished, I'm going to open up and turn them over. Okay, as you can see, the chops are beginning to pick up some nice color. So I'm going to flip over the first one. Again, trying my very best not to make too big a mess. And then I'm going to flip over the second one, which is right-handed, which for us left-handed is quite an accomplishment. I'm still fighting it, so there we go. Almost there. And we managed to keep most of it on. And now I'm going to give it again a little spritz on the back side. Again, designed to help crisp it and also to keep the breadcrumbs on there. And at this point, we're going to put it back at 400. I'm going to set it for 5 minutes, but I will be checking the temperature very frequently. We need a minimum temperature of around 145. So I'm going to close this now and let that finish that cool cycle, which, again, I don't quite understand. If someone can explain it to me, I'd appreciate it. And now I'm going to set it again for, I got to stop it. Okay. So I'm going to set it again for air fry, 400, and again at 5 minutes, and we'll proceed with that. I will check back one more time as I check the temperature, and then after that, hopefully, we'll have a finished product. See you in a little bit. Okay, as you see, we're coming down to the 2-minute mark. I'm going to check this and see where we are temperature-wise. Remembering we're looking for temperatures of around 145. So right now, we're at, this looks like 110. Yeah, it's the same thing. They both look around the same temperature. I'm checking them in different places. Yeah, so we're going to give it a little more time. Closing the lid. I'm not sure if 2 minutes is going to be enough, so I'm going to raise this for 4. Simply that way to avoid it from shutting off, and we'll be back. Okay, I've checked the temperature, and it is at temperature. So I'm stopping the air frying process right now, and we're going to open up and you can take a look at them. Okay, and you can always get any of that excess breadcrumb if you find that annoying. You can either brush it off, or you could use a little more spritzing of oil if you wanted to darken it up. Okay, so I'm going to take them out now. And that pretty much wraps up the pork chops. If you'd like me to cut into one for you, I don't know if I'm going to do that. All right, and that's going to go tonight with steamed broccoli, courtesy of the Ninja Foodi, and applesauce, and that will be our dinner for this evening. If you would like, we might as well both take a look at the inside. Let's see what it looks like here. I'm just going to cut over here. Okay. All right, that's usually satisfactory for us. If it isn't for you, another minute. Be very careful with the Foodi. If you say, well, I want it a little bit darker, don't walk away for 2 or 3 minutes. Don't do that. Check it every 30 to 60 seconds. All right? So, again, from the Insecure Chef, have a good meal. I wish you the best.
Have a good night.
Okay, bye-bye.